Hi, welcome to Speedtalks, the podcast about everything tech in the financial services. The topic of today's episode is digital banking in 2024, the summary, and trends prediction for 2025. There comes a time in a year, every year, where my feed and news and emails are flooded with trends prediction for the next year. And this is this time of the year. And naturally, I want to put forward my prediction as well. But I want to start with firstly summarizing what happened on the market, what innovations were introduced, what were the trends in 2024, based on, let's say, knowledge built from conferences, client conversations, market insights, and then explain what can we expect in 2025 in terms of development directions and technology in general from the tech perspective. So I hope that everyone loves learning about trends. I really keep my fingers crossed that this episode will be one of the most interesting ones in this regard. Right, let's kickstart with the 2024 summary, and I will surprise you because the number one topic was AI. Ta-da! I knew you were not expecting that, but in 2024, more and more banks actually integrated AI and machine learning into certain processes. From my understanding, the majority of the processes were back office processes. Naturally, due to regulations and, let's say, other aspects of, readiness of that technology, no one is using AI to the most crucial parts of banking industry. Nonetheless, they are, around 45 of surveyed by EY financial institutions are already investing in 2024 in AI solutions. 55% is planning to do so. And the main drivers are productivity improvement, customer service quality, with the greatest impact expected on sales due to automation of offering processes. So whenever there's a labor, time-consuming, mundane and repetitive tasks, naturally you can automate that, but it's mostly on the back office as far as I'm concerned for 2024. So in my opinion, there's a lot of noise for sure around AI, around a lot of hype. The hype train is there, but it's definitely slowing down. I mean, is the noise justified? I mean, I think we still are dealing with some sort of troubles with managing expectations on what does this technology actually deliver versus what we expect it to deliver. All right, the second aspect that was also very popular and trending in 2024 was integrations, or APIs working with external third parties. To meet customer demands, the banking industry increasingly collaborates with companies from the fintech sector, from the insurance sector, from other sectors, be it commerce, for example, or anyone who's on the spectrum of banking, be it buy now, pay later, or any other kind of value-added service that you can, implement amongst your bank. Banks are increasingly partnering with external companies in the banking as a service model, with embedded finance and open banking playing a role here. So I do see that being a thing at the moment, and I would expect that to continue being a thing as we move along. The third aspect that I noticed was trending was customer experience in digital channels. This year, banks significantly invested in improving digital customer experience, focusing on existing features, simplifying processes. The popularity of digital channels grew, though clients still value physical brick and mortar branches and advice, like physical in-person advice for more complex transactions. But there was a strong emphasis on improving mobile banking and to cater to, for example, young clients, or expand digital channels to corporate customers as well. I see that mobile solutions are increasingly based on personalization, hyper-personalization, even leveraging available data at a bank to adapt to user habits on a one-to-one basis, allowing apps to be more interactive, user-friendly. Good example here is a Latvian Citadele Banka. Their new app is focused heavily on personalization and even creating your own experience at the bank for Gen Z. The other trend I saw booming was biometrics and security, specifically in the context of AML, fraud, KYC. Last year, many banks introduced advanced biometric technologies for, logins, authorization of transactions, security, etc. I see now biometry expanding to iPayments. Even there's already a pioneering project where biometric payments are based on iris recognition. That's already being tested. Let's see if that goes to that direction, that I'll be able to pay on 7-Eleven with my eye. I'm not sure if I like it, but I guess that can be one of the scenarios for the future. And last but not least, definitely green transformation and sustainable banking, sustainable development was a thing. Banks and financial institutions, specifically in Europe, Western Europe, are increasingly committed to financing green projects, supporting energy transformation, achieving climate goals. Numerous initiatives have been launched to assist customers in financing green projects and achieving climate neutrality. All right, so that was a wrap up of 2024. What my forecasts for 2025 are. And again, no surprise here, advanced automation and AI. I see 2025 as a year of expanding from the back office when it comes to AI applications to the more front end and customer facing, customer support stuff. I see the AI's role will increase in risk management, in offering new financial products with enhanced assistance, for example. I believe that it can become routine in 2025 to automate day-to-day tasks like processing transactions, data entry, compliance, reconciliation, fraud with AI. And that comes with efficiency gains, lower operational costs. And that, at the end of the day, is affecting not only back office, but also customer service. I believe that sooner or later, specifically in the US, expecting that a physical, the actual person, human, will answer the phone when you call the bank, that can be a premium. The other trends I foresee that they will continue to be on the rise are related to customer experience across digital channels. But I see the most impact in 2025 coming from adapting to upcoming regulations. An increased focus on compliance and risk management in the context of regulations, specifically in the European Union, will be a big thing. And here, AI Act, PSD2, PSD3, DORA, NIS2, there's a number of regulations banks have to adapt to. And I see banks that they will continue adjusting their services and operations to meet new regulations, which will drive investments in compliance tools, in risk management tools, in auditing tools, particularly in areas such as credit or legal risk. And planning for the future, I think financial institutions must not only consider potential new opportunities, but also assess and prepare for emerging risks related to just being compliant with the ever-growing list of regulations out there, specifically in the European Union. There are two other aspects that I also see that might be trending slightly less. CBDCs. In 2025, jurisdictions including China with digital yuan and the Eurozone, Brazil, Thailand. I expect advancement in CBDC experiments, and that sort of reflects a shift towards more digital and global financial system. I also see super apps trending here in Europe. Maybe not necessarily the likes of WeChat or Paytm and wannabes, but wannabe super apps are definitely something banks in Europe will lay eyes on, aiming to further expand their service offerings around customers' everyday needs that are, let's say, on the spectrum of banking services, but not necessarily are related to banking per se, like shopping, mobility, real estate, to capture new market segments and therefore impact the bottom line. I anticipate value-added services will continue to develop, cross-selling will continue to develop, and I expect banks will strive to create this, let's say, all-in-one kind of apps where many services are accessible from within a banking app. All right, wrapping things up, we've said that AI was definitely a thing, customer experience was definitely a thing, integrations in embedded finance, open banking was definitely a thing, biometrics, security, and sustainability were definitely a thing. I expect AI will continue to be a trend, customer experience will continue to be a trend, but the biggest disruptor will be around regulations, which is not necessarily an optimistic summary and takeaway if you look at it that way. An optimistic lookout would be focused more towards innovation, and transformation, whereas here you have to adapt to the law. So I guess that's the reality all banks here in Europe needs to face. Right, guys, thank you for that episode. See you in another episode of Speed Talks. Thank you.